That's kind of weird, right? I broke my phone and I was supposed to get a replacement today. Didn't come. So we're just going to have to deal with this for a while. Okay? I'm hoping I can get it fixed before the weekend. But I wanted to make a short video about why we practice magic, about why we are on this path. Uh, because personally, I've run into a lot of people online and in person who are practitioners who just want imaginary friends, who are unfortunately delusional. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to sit on my high horse and look down on them at a point and say, look how messed up they are. That's not my goal. But some people are just so out there and they think that they're special and unique and chosen, and that one day we will all see that and that we are all fools. And if you've run into some of these people, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are some people who are seeking power, which is I want to say one thing about that. People who often seek power often find disappointment. People who seek knowledge gain that power that they were looking for, but lose the necessity to use it. And at the end of the day, when we're practicing magic, when we're doing the rituals, what we're trying to do is create change in the world. And a lot of that begins on that internal alchemy, right? And you might be thinking, okay, what about path workings? What about communicating with entities? What about all these things? When you're path working with an entity for a couple weeks at a time, you are changing yourself. You are creating change within yourself. You are learning things about yourself. You're either gaining new things that you can use in your life, or you're letting go of things that no longer serve you, right? When you're communicating with entities, oftentimes when I'm communicating with entities, oftentimes I'm just seeking counsel. I want to know how to do a certain thing, or I need an outside opinion on something, and the best way to go about, using magic or a ritual or a spell to get the result that I want to get. And I'll give a couple examples, right? So some things that have happened since I have begun practicing. When I began practicing, and this is probably true for a lot of people out there, I started practicing from a place of pain. I did not want to feel that pain anymore. And I had an interest in the occult already, and I just jumped right in. I did the research, I did the ritual, and it worked, right? I continued practicing because it had sparked such a deep interest in me. Because if I could let go of that pain through ritual and connect to something outside of myself, I wanted to see just how far it would take me. Another thing that has happened is I am content with living by myself. You know, I've talked about this a lot before, but I used to get high and drunk and just completely I felt less than human, you know. I live on my own now and I'm comfortable with doing that, and before I could not sit in a room for 10 minutes by myself because I hated myself. That has completely changed. I actually enjoy the peace and quiet and time by myself. You know, And not just that, but I can support myself now because I'm able to have that kind of responsibility and think ahead, you know. As the result of working with spirits like Belial, Azazel, um, I have climbed up the social ladder at the place that I work. You know, I've gotten raises that I felt I didn't deserve. You know, and after I got them, I just showed up and showed out because it's not like I did the magic and it couldn't be taken away from me. I knew that I had to work even harder to keep it. You know, and that process is still ongoing. You know, I want to create the life that I want to live in, and I see that every day. You know, I'm taking steps to really head in the direction that I want to go. You know, and could I have done it without, you know, doing what I'm doing now? It's a possibility, but I can tell you it would have been a lot harder. I probably would have been fighting against myself, so to speak. And I'm saying all these things because we should all be trying to do the same thing, you know. If an entity is reaching out to you in dreams to, you know, I've never had an entity tell me that I'm special or unique or anything like that. A lot of times when I'm getting messages, they're brief, they're to the point, and it's a course correction, you know. And I end up getting to where I need to go. You know, even like abyssal crossings. You know, right now what I really am feeling a draw to is climbing up. They're going through the different spheres of the Sephiroth, you know, and I've been invoking a lot of the angels associated with each of the spheres of life. Um, and when I'm doing these rituals, I'm really sending that energy out to try to manifest something, you know. Like I know Sandalphon. He can inspire music, right? He can help your music career. Um, so anytime I'm invoking him, that's what I'm putting the energy towards. If I'm ever in a lot of pain, like my hands are numb from work, or my back is sore, I'm invoking Raphael to heal this pain. If I need protection, you know, Michael's the one that I go to. And as I'm doing these things, it's like I don't know, something internally is changing in me, and and I'm using that to then help me get the result that I want. You know what I mean? So magic directed at yourself is always going to work better than magic to try to force somebody else to do what you want them to do. Um, but I guess the reason that I'm saying this, dude, is if you're not trying to create a life that you want to live, and you're just in here to, I don't know, become all powerful, or become rich quick, or do none of the work that is required, or, you know, try to escape reality. This is another thing that I wanted to touch up on. I was trying to think of it. But like when we're projecting and things like that, when we're exploring the astral and these different realms, we're not trying to escape reality. We're trying to learn more about it, because the things that we can't see with our eyes, those things are as much part of reality than what we do see in the physical, you know? There are some people who project and interact with random entities because they're so uncomfortable with their life in the physical that they use that as an escape. It's the same thing as using drugs, you know? That's not the goal. The goal is to, you know, this is a very Belialish teaching, but it's to become your own master, really, at the end of the day. And I have also found that, like, if I'm projecting without a reason, I have a very hard time leaving my body. When I have a clear-cut goal of what I'm trying to do, it is like I am there. You know, it isn't a vision. It isn't something inside my mind's eye. I'm there. You know, when I'm directing energy, you know, and I everything is focused on the one thing. I'm not just visualizing. I'm seeing the energy and using my breath to direct it, you know? And it's in moments like that where I get the change that I want to see almost instantly. You know, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Let's just say I did a ritual. I did a curse a couple weeks ago, and it hit this person almost instantly, you know, and they knew. So, I think that's pretty much all I have to talk about. Like, this is more for this video is more for me than anybody in the group. Like, you guys that are putting the work in and developing and, like, becoming powerful, not for the goal of power, but from doing the work and the personal alchemy and the meditations and the rituals. Like, I see all that. We all see all that, the admin team, and we're really proud, you know? We're really proud of all of you that put the work in. And that's another thing. Like, when I started practicing, I did not know that I was going to be, you know, part of a team or making content or helping other people. You know, I was just sharing things that worked for me because I enjoyed doing it, you know? And I wasn't channeling rituals and stuff like that just to share, you know? Before I was sharing things that I had done and things that worked for me, and I would share them because I was like, if this worked for me, try it. I hope this works for someone else, you know? I had no idea that this was going to be one of my roles, that I was going to somehow be a teacher for other people, or that I was somehow gonna help a lot of people out. I will say though that now that I'm in this role, I wouldn't have it any other way, you know? And again, this is just like a byproduct from doing the work, you know? I've also heard several other people that are in this scene say that, you know, enlightenment happens not as the goal of practicing, but as a byproduct of practicing. And I don't know if that'll ever happen to me, but that's not my goal. I really like the direction that I'm going. I'm making huge strides in my life, and if there's anybody out there that's practicing and doesn't really have any kind of direction, try to do the small things first. Do sigil magic, do candle magic. Get really good at those things. Do the meditations, do the chakra works, do the breath works, the visualizations, things like that. It's those things, the foundational work, that'll get you good at everything else. And then you can start, once you get, I'm not going to say master, once you get proficient at those things, then you can start doing some of the more advanced things. You can start pushing yourself, right? But it's such a good feeling when you do a spell or a ritual and you get the results that you want. It's a boost of confidence, Anyway, my phone's about to die. I'm trying to get a new phone to fix this, hopefully before the weekend. I hope everybody has a great day.